must you achieve every week? You have to achieve 10 million. We have 5 weeks. How much will you do in a week?
2 million.
2 million. So by having a goal, your work is already cut out automatically. If I must do 10 million at the end of this month, every week I must do 2 million. Now, if I must do 2 million every week, and we have how many days in a week? 5 days. So how much must I achieve daily? Sorry? 400,000. So by setting goals, my work automatically becomes clear to me. For me to achieve 10 million at the end of the month, I must do 400,000 every day. Madam, if I miss, can you? Okay, sorry, okay. Okay, maybe we just do a general something then. Okay, if I miss my 400,000 today, something happened that I couldn't do it, how much must I do tomorrow?
800.
My work is cut out for me. If I miss my 400,000 today, automatically, I really am not achieving anything. The question I will ask is, what are your goals for this year? What are your goals in life? Because if you don't have goals, you don't even begin to manage time to achieve those goals. So you must first of all clearly define what is important to me. That is the beginning point. What is the most important thing to me? On an individual level, a young person that's just finished school, started work, may say, oh, I want to get married in 5 years' time. Okay, if I'm going to get married in 5 years' time, then I need to put some things in place. On the career level, if somebody says, oh, I want to be a manager in this place in 5 years' time, then the question I'm going to ask you is, what have you done? You say, I have prayed. I say, oh, excellent. We're in the house of God. Prayer is very important, but you need to do more than that. If you are praying and you are not doing anything taking you towards that goal, God will just be looking at you like this and said, in my Bible, I taught this child more than prayer. I taught this child prayer. I taught this child wisdom. I taught this child planning. I taught this child hard work. I taught this child many things. This child has decided to use only prayer. It will not work. It won't work. And so I will ask such a person that wants to be a manager in 5 years' time. To be a manager, who are the kind of people that they employ as managers in your place? Say, oh, somebody that has an all-round experience. They have worked in various departments. Somebody that has a degree in engineering. Somebody, and I have OND in engineering. Somebody that relates well with people. Now, the question is, do you fulfill this criteria? If you do not, and you want to be a manager in 5 years' time, what should you do? Start working on it. So the first thing you need to do, by breaking it down, manager in 5 years' time, then you move to planning, because I've skipped to planning. These are the things required. This is where I am. This is where I want to get to. These are the steps I need to take to get there. Let me start with the first step. I'll go and enroll for a degree program. If I spend 1 year in the department and they haven't moved me, I'll remind HR I'm still around though. HR, I've mastered this department. I've even taught 1 or 2 people. Can I move to another department so that I can gain more experience? I won't stay there in the same place keeping quiet and say, they will notice me. Do you know a lot of us do that? And when nobody notices, after some time, we become bitter and we complain. There are times that you need to not fight, but speak out to the right people. That is called working at your career. So I'll get some experience, I'll get my degree, I'll work on my interpersonal skills. I don't necessarily have to be an extrovert. Please, that's another error in leadership that people make. People feel that to be a leader, I must be an extrovert. Somebody that once they enter here, hey, they greet everybody, they laugh, they are so bright. You know, not all of us are like that. Can I tell you a secret? Most of my life, I was an introvert. Somebody that likes to be on his own. In those days, we didn't have Facebook and we read novels. I was that kind of person. I had few friends. But it got to a point in my career where I discovered, and after speaking to 1 or 2 persons, that I need to be more outgoing. So have I become an extrovert? No. But I've managed myself to know how to relate more. Because you cannot be a team leader, and we're all praying to be managers. True or false? For those of us that are not yet there, those of us that are managers want to become senior managers. Senior managers want to become executive directors and MD. And let me just tell you this. You are praying to get there. Will you get there and then keep to yourself? You don't relate with people around you. Will it work? It won't work. So I must start working on my ability. I must start making conscious efforts once in a while to greet people. How are you doing? To try and remember people's name. To show some concern for other people. So can I help you with that? Volunteer. Try to relate. You may not become the party person that is an extrovert that can talk for 5 hours, but you must work on it to become more relatable with other people. And so by setting goals, determining what is important for me in life, it helps me to focus, to know what is the next step to take. Goal setting is the process of deciding what you want to achieve, how you plan to achieve it, and when you want to achieve it. Ladies and gentlemen, a goal is different from a wish. A lot of people have wishes and dreams, but they have not yet set goals. There's a difference between a wish and a goal. A wish, somebody says, I love swimming. When people are swimming, I feel so excited, I must learn swimming. The moment I hear that kind of comment, I say that's a wish. And you discover why very soon. It has no fixed dates. It has no plan. It's just a desire. You'll be surprised that 5 years later, you'll meet that man and say, hey, my brother, how are you doing? That swimming thing you said you wanted to learn, by now, I'm sure that you'll be swimming like a fish. You might say, my brother, I haven't done it all. That thing I haven't done, but I will do it. One day is one day. I will learn swimming. One day is, you'll be surprised that one day doesn't get you anywhere. Another person will say, within the next 3 months, I want to learn swimming. He has fixed a time. And then he sits down and he writes it down. He says, to get this thing done in 3 months' time, what are the things I must do? Say, number one, I must find somewhere in my vicinity that is not too far, where they have a swimming pool and they open on Saturday mornings, where I can go for 1 hour. So search on Google or whatever, or ask people. Number two, I need to get swimming trunks. Number three, can I find one of my friends that's already good at swimming that can encourage me and follow up on me, so that when I want to get tired, somebody can ginger me up. That person has a plan. That person has set a date, is moving towards a goal. You discover that such a person, even if some things happen for the first 3 weeks and they couldn't work on it, if he comes back one day and he sees on the wall of his room or in a book where he wrote, learn swimming, 3 months' time. 3 months from now is what? April, May, June. By the end of June. And April is almost gone. If you wanted to do something very important and you suddenly discover that you've lost a month, how will you feel? Like, hey, time is almost here. I need to work harder. Your goal will steer you up. Your goal will ginger you. But when you have no goal, hey, I've been there before. You lack energy. Do you know what I'm talking about? You have nowhere to go in the morning. You're welcome. Those of us just coming in, you're welcome. God bless you. Please, come and fill the seat over here. Please, we are recording this and want it to appear nice. So we really appreciate if you can come and fill this row over here. Thank you so much for cooperating. So, I was saying that by having goals, it gingers us. When a person wakes up in the morning and you have nowhere to go to, do you know there's a way that you can even feel tired? And when you sleep, you know when you sleep and rest, you're supposed to get energy. But when you sleep too much, what begins to happen? You start feeling tired. You start feeling really tired. So when we have no goals in life, we lack motivation. We just do things, just manage to get them done. But when you have a goal, every day you wake up, that thing gives you adrenaline. You charge and you move forward. And so it's really important that each person sits down and asks those questions that, what is most important to me as a person? In the next 5 years, what do I want to achieve? This year, what do I want to achieve? In the next 6 months, where do I want to be? When you're able to answer these questions, it's fine. It's the co-facilitator. He's doing just fine. When you're able to identify these things, you can now set your goal and say, okay, if I want to be a chief baker within the next 6 months, then I will have to go through the steps. Then, right there tomorrow, I know what to do when I wake up. A goal must be specific. A goal must be planned, and it must be time-bound. A goal is not a wish or a dream. A goal is far more than that. The experts have stated that for your goals to be effective, they must follow what we call the SMART acronym. Can I have the next page, please? Your goals must be SMART. Can we all say SMART? Now, when we talk about SMART here, we're not talking about the traditional SMART. The letters represent a word each. The first one is it must be specific. I don't want to hear a salesman say, this year, I'm going to be the best salesman in the company. That man is not yet serious. I want that man to sit down and say, hey, the person that was the best salesman last year sold 40 million in goods. In order to beat him, let me aim for double of that. I'm aiming for 80 million. So to be the best salesman in our company this year, I will sell 80 million worth of goods by December 31st. That is getting more specific. 80 million. You have put a figure to it. You have put a time to it. Your goal can be tracked. That is a specific goal. Number 2, your goal must be measurable. In our SMART, we have S for SMART, M for measurable. Your goal must be measurable. That means if at the end of the year I want to sell 80 million, that means by half year I must have sold 40 million. So by half year, I'm going to look at my records. Have I done up to 40 million? It can be measured. I won't wait till the end of the year to say, okay, where am I? No, I should have been checking where I am before the end of the year. In fact, what most organizations do is that every month we have, particularly finance industries, they will have what they call monthly reporting meeting. We check the goals. In 1 year's time, this is where we want to get to. Okay, this month, where are we? So that if we notice that we are falling short, what do? We ginger ourselves. What do you need to achieve your goals? Do you need more cars for your marketers? We call them marketers, relationship officers or salespeople to go out. Do you need some equipment? What is it we can do for you? Because you are not meeting up with your target. So we are able to strategize and plan. And if we are exceeding our target already in the first month, we can say, maybe that goal we set initially wasn't so high. If we are doing so well, why not review the goal? So by measuring it regularly, we are guided. We don't set a goal and go to sleep, and at the end of 1 year, we wake up and say, where am I? That is too late. By that time, you should be receiving your report sheet, not reviewing. So your goal must be measurable. Your goal must be attainable. Hello? Your goal must be attainable. Let me give you something. It's a joke, but it happened in real life. I was working in a bank those days, and, in the finance industry, they can so give targets. And so what usually happens is that if you've done well the past year, they said the reward for work well done is what? More work. If you don't know that today. The reward for work well done is more work, higher responsibility. You want to become manager. Manager is higher responsibility. We give you more work and more pay too, hopefully. Amen? All right. So what happens is you hit your 20 million, your target of 20 million last year. This year, they will double it. Or maybe you did 16 million out of 20. They say, you tried. That was more than 75%. Let's double it to 40. Say, Oga, 40 million. Even that 20 million, I barely made it. Say, no, I know you can do it. And they encourage you. That person works towards 40 million. He may not hit 40 million, but even if he hits 28 million, is that 28 million not higher than that he did the previous? So, by challenging him, he has spread his wings and he has soared higher. Challenges are there to make us grow. And that is recognized in target setting. But look at this situation when we say your goals must be attainable. Suppose your previous target was 20 million and the new boss comes and says 20 million. Let's make our target 1 billion. Something like that happened once. Somebody came from somewhere and they added 400% to the target. One woman went home, and she came back the next morning with her husband and dropped letter of resignation. There's a goal that you can set that can kill your morale. If you increase it, your goal must challenge you. Your goal must not be too simple. If you are doing 20 million, then I increase it to 21 million. Is that a goal? That won't challenge you. But double it. That will make you, how will I do this? Father, Lord, help me. You pray. You ask for advice. You walk. You push. You do better, whether you meet it or not. But if from 20 million to 1 billion, somebody will just say, they even want to kill us in this place. It's like some people just sit down in the head office. They don't even know what you are facing. And somebody just resigned. Some people didn't resign, but they were not putting in their best anymore. They were just like, oh, they want to kill somebody. The morale dies. Make sure that the goal you set is challenging, but not impossible. Let it be challenging, but not impossible. And I hope you know that is relative. What is impossible for one person today is a possibility for another person, depending on where that person already is. So we are going to do it on a case-by-case basis. So number one, your goal must be smart, specific. Number two, it must be measurable. Number three, attainable. And number four, relevant. Relevant and time-bound, yes. Relevant. Your goals must be relevant. We are talking about personal life. We are talking about career-wise. We are looking at it from a managerial perspective. If your goals are not relevant to you, if you are going to buy a brand new Camry because your neighbor bought a brand new Camry, you are pursuing his goal and not yours. He may be working in a place. Maybe they even gave it to him as an official car. He probably didn't spend a kobo. But you had to go and take a loan and almost kill yourself and tell your wife we'll drink the gari. And so for the next 1 year, you can barely eat because you are pursuing another person's goal. You may be doing yourself a lot of harm. Make sure that the goals you set for yourself in life are relevant to you. A lot of people have entered big-time trouble because of this thing. They set goals that, what are my mates doing? What is everybody doing? Me too, I will do it. And they copy. You must look at yourself. What is important to me? What are my values? Where am I going to? Based on this, I pick my goals. My goals are specific to me. They are relevant to me. So one man's goal cannot be everybody's goal. Your goal must be relevant to you. And lastly, we said the goals must be what? Time-bound. This is very important. Your goal must be time-bound. Within the next 6 months, I'm going to become a chief baker. At the end of this year, December 31st, I'm going to become the highest-selling salesman in this company with a target of this amount. It must be time-bound. If you don't set a time to it, one day is one day. Remember that example? One day, I'm going to learn swimming. 5 years' time, it's still 1 day. 10 years' time, I haven't done it too. But guess what, my sister? I'm still going to learn that swimming. They keep on postponing and postponing and postponing. So you must set a time and then work towards the time. So, smart. Now, the purpose of setting goals is this. Next slide, please. Goals give us a sense of direction. They give us a sense of direction. I mentioned that before. They help us know intuitively on a daily basis where to face, where we are going. There's a teenage group I used to handle some years back, and I remember once doing this thing for them. Vision 2020 was at Muzon Hall on the island, and we had a big hall like this. And to start something on focus, I called out 3 people. We had 3 entrances to the hall like that. And I called 3 of them. I brought out some money, a 1,000 naira note, and I said, the first person, you're going to run, the first person to get to the door will get this money. I know students. These ones were secondary school students, not university. They were all very excited. I said, on your marks, nobody asked me where they're running to. I said, no, I said the first person to get to the exit. So all of them just turned and faced the exit there. Set, go. Pew! 2 people took off. And the whole hall was shouting. They're from different schools. So one person was representing a school, another person another school. Hey, go, go, go. One lady just turned around and said, sir, which one of the exits? You didn't mention which exit. I said, that exit. And she just ran towards it. And she was the slowest of the 3. But she ran towards the right place. Before I did the exercise, I'd called somebody as a moderator. I said, this is what I'm going to do, so that they will know that I did not cheat, that this is the answer, but I won't tell them. So those 2, they ran there, they touched the door, they ran back. This lady came back slowly, and I picked her and said, you are the winner. They all, why? I said, when I mentioned exit, which exit? They said, then they now realized all of a sudden. Someone was saying there, someone said, oh, you did this? I said, well, she was the one that asked which exit. She asked for direction. Speed without direction is meaningless. Being efficient without direction is wasteful. That is why sometimes people talk about being efficient and being effective. And sometimes we tend to confuse these things. It should not be. Being efficient means you know how to do things very well. And it's very good to, is it not good to do things well? Efficient. But being effective goes beyond being efficient. Being effective adds another dimension. Not only do I know how to do things well, I know what to do well at what particular time. So if I can sweep very well, but I'm sweeping when guests are sitting down, I'm doing a bad job. I'm efficiently doing a bad job. But if I'm effective, not only do I know how to sweep very well, I will know that I should come and sweep before guests arrive. I would have planned, and that's why the next thing we are going to look at is planning. I would have planned ahead and done my sweeping at the right time. So it's not bad to be efficient. We've had some speakers say, oh, you must be effective, and they talk about being efficient as if it's a... No, it's being efficient is not bad. But your efficiency must have direction and purpose. Goals will give you a sense of direction. It creates a clear vision of where one is going and thus gives a direction to our efforts. Number 2, goals give us internal motivation. It generates internal motivation, personal drive that energizes you. Because you wake up in the morning, you know that you have to pursue this goal. Somehow you have energy. But when you wake up and you have no clear goal before you, that's when you start dragging on the bed and like, what will I even do today? Which one should I start with? So goals give us motivation. Number 3, goals give us a sense of achievement and self-confidence. You know, we said our goals must be measurable. So as you achieve your goals for the first 3 months of the year, how will you feel? How are you going to feel? You set a goal of 60 million for the end of the year, and within the first 3 months, you have to do 15 million. And 3 months come, you have done your 15 million. How will you feel? You feel happy. You feel like, yes, I'm on course. I'm getting there. It gives you a boost of confidence and a sense of achievement at what you're doing. The attendance sheet is going around. Let's just silently fill it as it applies. Before I move to the next slide, any questions thus far? Any questions or contributions that can help to clarify what we're doing? Yes? It is all very clear. Okay, sir. Yes, please. Let's pass the mic to him quickly. And another hand here. Let's start with the person here. Sorry, sir. Let's start here because this is closer to you. Please, welcome me, sir. Yes, please.
Sir, if you set a goal and you don't have the resources to help you with your goal, what can you do?
Okay, beautiful. His question is, if you set a goal and you don't have the resources to achieve it, what do you do? We are going to move to, are you with me? We are going to move to the next stage now, which is about planning. Because one of the things in planning is how to achieve your goals. Planning tells us that in planning, we look at where we are. This is where I am. That is where I want to get to. In order for me to get there, what are the things I need to do? So number one is that I identify them. Now, once I've identified them, part of my strategy, my planning, will also be, how do I get these things in place? Some of them will be resources you already have. You want to become a chief baker, you have an electric mixer, you have some things. There are some things you don't have. Then the next question will be, how do I get these things? And then I will, because we have in strategy, in logic, we have what we call the 5 whys. You keep on asking why, until you get to where you're going. Say, okay, this is what I need. How do I get it? The next question I'll be asking you to answer that is, who are the people around you? What are the resources available to you? Where can you get information about the resources available to you? Can you Google on businesses or bodies that give grants for people with good ideas in this area? There are some organizations like that, and some people are benefiting from them. And some of them are religious organizations. But if you don't ask to make inquiries, one may not know, and we don't just say, there's no help. The next thing is, who are the people around me that I could approach? And I learned this thing a long time ago. Somebody in developing just something like this for a business said, it's not going to be easy work. It's never easy work to attain success. Said, write down 10. Oh, let me quickly ask. Salespeople in the house, can we say hi? Okay. They said, if you want to get one customer, how many people must you speak to? Thank you. That's hearing from the salespeople. If you want to get one customer, you must be ready to speak to 10 people. So that excuse that I spoke to 2 persons and they are not interested, so I don't think this thing is selling. That's not. It's not easy to sell. It's not easy to get things done. For you to get one customer, on the average, plan to speak to 10 people. So that means that if I need 5 customers in a week, I must speak to how many people? 50 people. So I must look at my contact base. I will draw up a list. I'll start making calls. I'll start visiting. But at the end of the day, the reward will compensate for the hard work. So if I'm trying to raise 100,000 to do a business, who are the people that can give me 10,000? I write 5 names for each 10,000. At the end of the day, I could drop a list of 50 names. I may narrow it down to 30. I may narrow it down to 20, depending on you. Somebody may give you more than that. Somebody may give you less. Then I start approaching them. And I won't just approach them. This is another error that people make. Sometimes people just approach and they, please, I need this. Just do it. And for a lot of people out there, that 20, 30 people are coming to meet them on a daily basis. They want to see that what they are given will be used for something good. Have a plan before you go and meet that person you want to help you. Let it show that you have done diligent research. Young people in the house, let it show that that business you want to start, you have actually done some research about it. You found out all that you can about it. You didn't just come. Most people that have struggled to life to make it, when they look at a young person in their 20s, say, sir, just give me money. I know I can do it. They say, this one you spend my money to buy television and food. He has no clear plan. So if he wants to help the person, say, okay, take 5,000. Just go and waste it. Go and, I know you have no clear. You think you know what, but I can see that you don't know what you're doing. But when you say, oh, sir, I've done research. I have this information. I've been to this place. They said I can get this. I've spoken with this person. In fact, I've seen a place I can use. I've done this, I've done this. But, oh, this guy is serious. This one will put in effort. In fact, if I give him this money, even if he loses it by error, it will make a lot of good effort. This one will try. Say, I will support you. So don't go and meet them without having done some good research and planning. Did I answer your question? All right, thank you. Next person, next one, and then I'll move on. Yes, sir.
You've actually...
Your name, sir?
My name is Engineer Abiodun Ario.
You're welcome, my
You've
brother.
actually answered a bit of what I wanted to ask. But I wanted to ask, can a goal be reviewed?
Revealed?
Reviewed.
Reviewed?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, perhaps. Like, I know of a company that used to do carton packaging. Then, when the recession came, most of the people that do packaging using carton now, they changed to usage of nylon packaging. Like the salesperson in that carton packaging company that set a target, how can they review it? Because business was not moving as usual.
Thank you very much. Yes, your goals can be reviewed. Your goals are not cast in iron. They are not like the law of the Medes and the Persians in the Bible. The Medes and the Persians say their law cannot be revoked. Even they cannot revoke it. Your goal is to take you to where you are going to. So at any point in time, when you see that this goal is no longer taking me to where I want to get to, you set the goal. You can amend the goal. You can review it. In fact, one of the criteria we mentioned was that your goals should be measurable, and that the purpose of measuring is to review what we are doing, how we are doing it, if we are on course. So if you see that environmental factors, some things happened, and our business is suffering, please, if I'm knocking on this door, and the door is not opening, there's a wall there. There used to be a door there, but they've now put a wall there, and I can't pass through. The next thing for me to do is to find out, so where now is the new door? I mustn't keep on knocking on that place. Yes, your goals can be reviewed and must be reviewed regularly to be sure that you're on course. All right, the next slide, please. After setting your goals, the next thing you want to do is to plan. I don't want to use the word strategy, but it may come in occasionally because strategy sounds sometimes confusing because people use it anyhow. But let me simplify it today and say a strategy simply defines how you get from where you are to where you want to get to. Strategy is how. This is my position today. My goal is to get to that pillar within 3 minutes. Are we together? The question I must now ask myself is, how do I get there? Do I run? Do I take steps? The answer to that question is my strategy. Because I know that the brother with the to get there before me to pick the prize and is walking, my strategy cannot be walking. My strategy will be to run. If there are 2 chairs here, then my strategy may include bypassing and taking this way or jumping over the chairs. So my strategy is the plan that I have to take me from where I am to where I want to get to. This is very key. This is where a lot of people fail when it comes to time management, planning. This is where a lot of people fail. A gentleman has been praying to get a job with an oil and gas firm for 5 years after leaving school. Eventually, he got invited for an interview. He praises God. He was so excited, he was speaking on phone. He slept late at 12:30. The next day, he wakes up late. Interview is 8 a.m. He wakes up late. He leaves at Fagba. Interviews at Lekki. He starts rushing. There's go slow on 3rd Mainland Bridge. He starts binding the devil. Satan, I bind you. He starts binding the devil. When he gets to Lekki, Aja, the boss, somebody misdirected him and he goes in the wrong direction. He drops at the wrong bus stop. By the time he realizes and gets back and finally arrives at the office, sweating, panting, smelling, looking hassled. The time was 8:45 a.m. They told him, sorry, we have picked those that came early that we are interviewing. Interviews in session, we are no more taking any more candidates. The man calls his pastor and says, Pastor, they got me again from our village. They got me again. And he starts rebuking the devil. For that kind of person, I'll simply sit him down and say, the devil is not your problem. You failed to plan. There's a course we used to take, and I think we've taken in the Solid Rock Job Bureau before, called Mastering the Art of Interviews, CV Writing and Mastering the Art of Interviews. And we teach people going for interviews. We say, look, an important interview is important to you because that job is critical to you. Please, you got the notice a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier. What stops you? You don't know the route. What stops you after praying, after reading, after checking on the internet for information about the company? What stops you for waking up on a working day in the morning at that same time to go and test the route, to go and find that place? And not only are you going to find the location, so that on the day of the interview, you are not saying, please, where's this bus stop? And no, you don't do that on that important day. If you are getting married, is it on the day of wedding that you go and know the location of the church? You go beforehand because it's important to you. So what stops you from going 2 days earlier? And not just going in the afternoon to know the route alone, but going in the morning at that same time that you go on due dates. So that if there's going to be traffic, you know that there's heavy traffic. I must leave home by 5 a.m. Or let me call my auntie that lives at Lekki and sleep in their house. And then all those problems would have been bypassed. When being directed to a wrong bus stop, it would have known the right bus stop. Then what stops a person that has an interview the next day from arranging, and in fact, it's not just about interviews. Serious people that work in they do this on a daily basis. You get home in the evening, you make sure you sleep on time as much as possible. You arrange your clothes, your suit, your shoes, everything already. Your keys, your wallet, you place everything. So that you wake up in the morning, all you do is bath. And you pick your things where they are and you dress up and you go out. Unlike people that will leave all those things to chance. Then they wake up the next morning. Hey, which shirt can I wear today? This socks is dirty. Where are my shoes? Oh, I will injure these children. Where did they put my shoe? And then you're not looking for shoe. And then you step out. My keys. Where are my keys? Oh, my goodness. Then you start looking for your bunch of keys, your car key. You simply did not plan. You cannot be an effective time manager if you don't plan your day. For those that are effective and that achieve, and I've read a lot of biographies of great men many years back, and today I still love to listen to interviews or write-ups by people that are achievers. And I noticed one thing in common with them. The Dangotes of this world, the Pastor Adeboyes of this world, all those people, they always plan their day. Either they have a PA, they have an organizer, a personal planner, or they tell you they have a to-do list. That means as today is winding down, I'm already writing, I couldn't do this because of lack of time. Number 1, tomorrow I must do this. Number 2, call so person. Number 3, get in touch with this company. They've started planning their day, their day tomorrow, right from today. As they're remembering anything, they write it down. By the time tomorrow comes, they have a full list of all the things they want to do. They now move on to the next level, which is prioritizing the work, which is the next item we're going to be looking at. So you must plan. If you have not started planning, you discover that you're going to have a problem with time management. This is one of the strongest keys to learning how to manage our time, planning on a regular basis. And can I tell us something? The moment we start doing this, something one is not used to initially, it may seem a bit tedious. But after a while, it becomes a part of you. In fact, when you haven't done it, you won't feel complete. Planning gives you an edge in the race of life. Planning gives you an edge in the race of life. I read an Open Heavens devotional by Daddy Adeboye, and was speaking about the Aksed, the sons of the prophets that went with Elisha to cut down trees to build a new dwelling. And the Aksed that was borrowed fell into the river. Most of us know that story. And they brought out something I'd never seen. He said, number 1, they involved God by asking the prophet, say, please go with us. We know you've permitted us, but go with us. Then the next thing they said, the moment they got to the river Jordan, they started cutting the trees immediately. They didn't first sit down and say, oh, so how will we do it? Okay, somebody should go here. Should we? That means, and they said that means that on their way, they had planned their strategy, how they would do the work. Because the Bible says the moment they got there, they started the work. You can't start work on time and achieve a lot on a daily basis if you do not plan ahead. I laugh when I see some people those days in the organization, and they come in the morning, they spend the first 1 hour looking for tea things. Who has sugar? Who has milk? Did you watch that match? Chelsea. That match. 1 hour, 8 o'clock to 9 a.m. 1 solid hour. You are still preparing to work. In that 1 hour, somebody that has planned and that is goal-oriented will arrive at the office. He still things already. He has bought them. They are kept. He doesn't have to be looking for them. And then, how you did, my brother? That match, man, that match. Oh, next time we're going to beat you guys. And they sit down. He won't spend more than a few minutes greeting. We are not saying you shouldn't relate, you shouldn't greet. But within a few minutes, the man is seated. While the rest of you are gisting, that match. This guy has already sent out 5 emails. He has contacted 3 customers. He has by 9 a.m., when you are settling down to work, this man has cleared half his table for the day. He is on the go. That's a man on fire, a lady on fire, a person with direction, a person that is goal-oriented, a person that is focused. And if you work like this on a daily basis, know how, God helping you, you will achieve a lot before the year is over. So we must plan our day. Planning, simply, is to think and decide on the process to adopt and the actions to take in achieving specific objectives. What are the steps I must take? What process will I follow? What approvals do I need to get? As a supervisor or a team leader, this is one of the most beneficial skills that you can give to your subordinates. Bring your work. Your table is so cluttered. Very interestingly, I remember working at a branch of a financial institution, and on more than one occasion, people that their tables were very messy, so much load and everything, and they're like, oh God, this work is killing me. By the time we sat down and I helped them organize, okay, these ones, put them here. These ones, file them. This one, and the table cleared. We discovered that the person didn't have much to do. But because the thing was piled up, it was confusing. You know, we said when you manage time effectively, it makes you feel in control and you feel energetic. You feel less stressed. And then you see another person that is working very hard, but his table is always clean. And I've met people like that. His table is always empty. Because the moment something comes, it doesn't defy it. It treats it right there, it moves it on to the next. It treats it right there, it moves it on. It pens it for action, it puts it in a file. His table is clear. And if you're not careful, you say, oh, this one doesn't have much work to do. But that guy is performing. He's achieving a lot. Why? He's organized and is planned. So, supervisors, sometimes we need to call our people and help them plan their work. Otherwise, they will slow us down. And they'll be working hard. But you know when you cut a tree with a blunt axe, use a lot of energy, but you're achieving little results. Some people work like that. We need to help them sharpen the saw or sharpen the axe so that they can achieve faster. Planning is a fundamental management function. It cannot be ignored. As a business owner, as a team leader, not only must I plan, I must help my people to plan. I must give them a culture of planning. If somebody starts work with me, for the next 1-2 months, until I see that this person has got it right, I'm going to ask, let me see your schedule for the day. I'm going to ask for it every day. Let me see, what do you want to do today? Let the person list them out. Okay, so how do you plan to do this? Until it becomes a part of the person, I'll say, yes, this one has matured. Handle other. The most important skills that you can bless your subordinates with. Number 2, planning. No matter how good your plan is transformed to reality by what? Being acted upon. Your planning will only become effective when you act on it. And so action is key. Otherwise, the plan will just become mere theory. Next slide, please. Elements of planning. In order to develop an effective plan, we must have these things in place. We must be able to identify the present situation. where am I? What do I have? The desired objective, where do I want to get to? What do I want to achieve? Then we ask the all-important question, how do I move from here to there? How do I move from here to there? That is where the plan comes in. In answering that question, by answering that question, you get your plan. Next slide. Thus far, let us see, because most of us left school a long time ago, so let us check ourselves and make sure that we still remember these things. What's the first time management tool we looked at? Remember, chorus answer is no answer. If you do chorus answer, everybody will get it. So if you know it, can you raise up your hand? What's the first time management tool? Yes, sir. Just lift up your voice. Goal setting. Excellent. Let's clap for him. And we said, another person, your goals must be what? They must be SMART. S for specific. M for measurable. A for attainable. R for T for... Can we clap for ourselves, please? This is a wonderful class. All right. And the next time management tool we looked at is planning. Excellent. Thank you very much. Planning. Planning. You set your goals. You plan how you're going to work it out. And then the next thing, the next slide is prioritization. Prioritization. Prioritization is the skill that makes sure that one's efforts are constantly channeled towards the most important and beneficial objectives out of all the numerous tasks that we have to do. I have many things to do. And if I'll be real, it's not every day that I achieve all the things I need to do. And that is human. But the question is, every day, do you achieve the most important things that you should have done? And this is where prioritization comes in. To prioritize means to determine those things that are most important and that will move us towards our goal. And then we make sure that we channel the most valuable time and our efforts towards those things. It will be an error for me, and this is why a lot of management experts say we should start early in the morning. Hello? And that we should do the most important tasks early in the morning. And if you look at the example of our Lord Jesus as well, in the book of Mark, Matthew, the Bible will always record that he went out before dawn, early in the morning, to spend time praying with God, which was the most important task. He's refilling himself with the Holy Spirit, is getting direct information from heaven, downloading from the cloud. I don't know what network they were using then, that was spiritual network. And by the time he's done, he steps out, he's flowing for the day. And so prioritization helps me to determine what is most important, so that in the morning when I'm still fresh, I'm alert, my brain is sharp, I am advised. In prioritization, in time management as a whole, we always counsel that you face your most important tasks first. Deal with them when you are still bright and alert, when you have a lot of energy, so that as the day wears on, you can now have some petty things to do, and you can, even if sometimes you don't have enough time to do those things, you know that what you left over till the next day are just minor things. But don't start your day and you focus so much energy and attention on all the petty things. Then towards 3 o'clock, and I've seen some people do this too, you now settle down with the main task, which is the one that will bring you money, or is the one that the customer is waiting for. You now leave that on for when you are tired and the sun has gone up and there are many people coming in and there are distractions. That's not a good way to manage time. How do we prioritize? The slide, please. How do we prioritize? No, back to the previous page. Back to the previous page. When you are prioritizing, there are some things we must consider. Number one is, what are the time constraints? How much time is available to me? If I must do 5 things today, and I have only 4 hours because by 12 o'clock I must be in a meeting that will take the whole day. Then within those 4 hours, definitely I can't do everything. So I will choose the most important ones that if I don't do them, something will suffer. That will help me to prioritize. Number 2, look at the profitability or reward potential. How beneficial is each task? There are some tasks that if you do them, they hardly add value to your business. But there are some things that if you don't do, you'll miss out on a lot. Number 3, how much pressure is on me to complete the task? Is management expecting a report from me by 12 noon? And then a colleague says I should help with a survey. This is 11 o'clock. I'm to submit a management report by 12. But a colleague comes and says, please, 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 just help me. And I now concentrate my time on doing that survey with that colleague. And I'm not able to deliver to management. That colleague is somebody that I could have managed. You know, we have to learn to manage people's expectations. And say, look, I want to help you with this, but you also have to do me a favor. Can you come back in 1 hour's time? Can you meet this other person in the meantime? Let me recommend this other person that can also assist. This management report, if I don't do it and submit it, my neck will go. Of course, they may not take your neck, but they may note you down that this person does not deliver. And if it happens 1 or 2 times, say, liver, give me that guy. It gives me results when I need results. And before you know it, you've created an impression that will count on the day of appraisal or the day of promotion or the day somebody is going to be recommended. They say, Aaron, she's been here in this company with us for the past 10 years. But, you know, she works hard. But, you know, she can work hard on so many things. Those things that are really important. It's like she doesn't know how to prioritize. How do you make such a person a supervisor? She can't guide. If she can't guide herself, she can't guide others. Say, let that guy, he's just been here 5 years, but, you know, he thinks. He knows what is important. Let us make him the manager. There are many things that go into those considerations. The slide, please. So how much pressure is on you to complete a task will also matter. Next page. There are many tools to help us in prioritizing. And please, you can Google on the internet later on, not now, please, and determine which one suits you the most. But for the sake of this program, I want to look at this one. And maybe I'll mention one other very simple one that I often use. This one is called the urgent important matrix. The urgent important matrix. If you look at the first box, anything that falls within this box, the first one there, urgent, it is urgent. On the side, it is also important. Can you see that? That first box, the red one, it has urgent on top, it has important by the side. So anything that falls within that box that is urgent and important, you should do what? Do it immediately. That is a high-value assignment. Do it. But when you look at your tasks, you see that some things are in this deep blue box. They are not urgent, but they are important. Like calling grandma to speak with her. Is that not important? It's very important. But is it so urgent in the morning when management is waiting for a report from you? No. You can write it down and defer it till later. Don't miss it. Don't ignore it. But defer it. Postpone it until a more appropriate. There are some things, like in this box here, that they are under urgent, but they are unimportant. They are urgent, but they are unimportant. Delegate it. Hello? You are in a supermarket, a big supermarket. You are the cash officer or the supervisor. When you started, there were only 2 of you. You used to go and bring out boxes and clean the desks before you start daily. Now you have 5 staff. You have been made a supervisor. You have to guide people. And then, because you enjoy, like I'm working, you still go and be bringing out boxes. While then your subordinates, some very low-paid people that have just come in, that are just starting, they're looking. And then there are things that you should be looking at with a managerial eye. That should be seen and guiding people and say, who has done this? Can somebody get to this place? Can somebody do this? You ignore those things because you are bringing out box. No, it's important to bring out the boxes because you're going to work with them. But is it what you, as a manager, should be doing? Definitely not. Delegate it. Where we discover this problem is that oftentimes when people have just been promoted, sometimes it happens. You find that the staff enjoys doing certain tasks. They enjoy doing it. Maybe it exposes them to customers and it gives them a sense of self-importance. They enjoy it. But you have been moved to a higher level where you should concentrate on more serious things that are important to management. But the person still keeps going back to that old task. You need to help the person see that, hey, if you're not ready to grow, can we ask another person to come and do it? Well, that's just putting it harshly. But really, what I'm saying is you need to help that person to see that, hey, release these ones for the junior ones. Focus on more important things. Let go of minor things. Delegate. So it's urgent, but it's not so important. Delegate it. Then there are some things that fall in this last box. Can we say it? They are not urgent. They are not important. Dump it. In other words, let go. Let go. There are some processes in our offices that can now be automated that you don't need to be doing on a daily basis. Sometimes it could be spending a little money to fix a door. A door, every time the customer comes in, it doesn't swing to close again. And somebody has to get up. And customers receive like 200 customers a day. So each time somebody will get up to go and close the door. Somebody will get up to go. Management, spend a little money, fix the machine. Let it be swinging and closing. You are wasting manpower. You are wasting time. You are causing distraction for the staff. When I started banking, things were not so automated. And you discover that sometimes an important customer, because of human beings could be busy, will forget the birthday of a very important customer. And then somebody will remember 2 days later, or maybe when the man walks into the banking hall, say, yeah, we forgot the birthday of so-so person. Manager will kill me. Manager will kill me. People will run up and down. Say, we have to go and beg so-so person. Then I thought about it. Hey, then I started doing something. I opened an Excel sheet on my computer. All major customers that have interaction with me, I enter their names, their account number, their phone number, their address, their date of birth, and some other information. So that by looking at a glance every morning at the Excel, I know where to go. Sometimes some people, they will leave upstairs to come downstairs and say, please, I need this person's account number. I want to check something for him. I'll just go to my Excel. I'll pick it out. But over time, as useful as that Excel was, people used to come and meet me. Please, let me check that. I said, let me send it to you people too. You to be checking on your own. Everybody can be distracting me. As important as it was then, these days, everything has been automated. If somebody is still looking at that Excel sheet, that person is a time waster. Because now, at the touch of a button, you can have the profile of a customer. In fact, there's nothing like you forget somebody's birthday anymore. Is that still in banking? It doesn't happen. Now they've automated it on your birthday. Email, nobody sends it to, it's automated. Email will be sent to you by the system. Happy birthday. We at, what bank do you use? Don't mention it. Don't let them know. We at Guaranteed Trust Bank, we rejoice with you. You receive a text message. First thing, midnight, 1 second past 12. Bam! Say, hey, these people love me. Oh. Nobody is sitting down in the office sending you text. Oh. It is computer. It is automated. That Excel should be dumped. If you are still with that Excel, you are working in the old ages. So there are some things we must identify that they are no longer it's no longer necessary for somebody to be doing them. Dump them, automate them, fix them, find a way to get rid of them, and focus on more important things. The next page. Prioritization. And then the next thing. Any questions on prioritization? Oh, I think I mentioned that I'll give one other tool for prioritization. You see, this one is very simple. On a day-to-day basis, after you've done your list of all the things you want to do for that day, and maybe there are like 12, the next thing you want to do is all those that are very important by those yardsticks we mentioned, put an A by them. This is called the ABC matrix or ABC checklist. Put A beside the most important items. Look at them again. The ones that are relevant again, but not so critical, put B. Then the ones that they're hardly insignificant, they're hardly significant, put C. Now gather your A's together and start work on them. Those are your most important tasks for that day. So if you list your A's for the day, you can list your A's for the week, you can list your A's for the month. That this month, I must do this one. So that's called the ABC matrix. The one we looked at is the urgent, important matrix. Next page, please. The next tool I think we should look at is managing distractions. Previous page. Previous page. Managing distractions. I wanted to look at focus before, but I think we should just look at managing distractions. How many people know that whether you like it or not, so far as you're on planet Earth, distractions will come? Distractions will surely come. And so, you have set goals. You have planned your work. You have prioritized your items on your to-do list. And we said your plans only become meaningful when we put action to them. So now you want to act, and then distractions come. Let me help somebody here today. Let me speak to junior persons in particular. Manager A gives you an assignment and says submit by 11 a.m. And you want to start work on it. Manager B calls you and says, Lande, I'm giving you this assignment. I also need it by 11 a.m. Two people, two managers, they are both your bosses, have given you assignments. Submit the same time. You have only so much time before 11. You cannot accomplish it. Mysteriously, I've seen staff keep quiet and then start grumbling. They want to kill me in this place. It's my blood. They are using somebody's blood to work in this place. I don't know. How was this person tell me? And this person, in fact, whatever will happen, will happen. You have, without speaking to anybody, you argued and defeated yourself in your mind. There's something called managing people's expectations. Sir, if you are my manager and you give me an assignment for 11 a.m., yes, sir, and I set to it. And then madam comes to me and says, Kunle, I want this from you by 11 a.m. Oh, thank you, ma. I said, excuse me, madam, if you don't mind, manager A already gave me an assignment for the same time. So perhaps I could recommend this other person who could handle this for you. Or if you really want me to do it, if it's me that must do it because I'm the one that's been handling it, madam, do you mind? Could you help me speak with manager A so that maybe between you, just let me take permission from him so that we tell me to leave his own till 12 while I do yours. So you have pushed the ball to their court. And if they are reasonable, and most times people, sometimes you think people are not reasonable, most times it's because you don't approach our seniors in the right way. When you approach people in the right way with respect, you tend to get good results from them. They're reasonable. Oh, you mean manager A has given you an assignment for 11? Okay, I'll get another person to do it for me. Don't worry. Thank you. Or, no, Kunle, it's you I need to handle this. Guess what? Give me a moment. He will call his fellow manager. Hey, my brother, how are you doing? Please, I need your guy to help me handle this report. Can I give you another person to do this for you? And between them, they parley. They reach an agreement. And you are left to focus on one assignment. Manage people's expectations politely, respectfully, but reasonably. Don't stay silent and bear the burden of the world and say nobody cares, when really nobody even knows what you are going through. You have not spoken. So one of the ways of managing distractions is that we manage expectations. Distraction is a major thief of productivity. It's a major thief of productivity. I need some help here. What are the kind of distractions that can happen in the workplace? Yes, volunteers. What are the kind of distractions we face on a day-to-day basis in the workplace? Number one, colleagues, unengaged colleagues, colleagues that are not busy. Sir, you said discussing irrelevant things, gossip. discussing irrelevant things. Yes, ma'am. Mobile phone. Mobile phone, the internet, social media. Yes. In fact, your mobile phone, we can bring out 3 points from there. Your dressing. Your dressing. It can also be a distraction. If you dress inappropriate to the workplace, oh yes, it can happen. Somebody's dressing could be yes. Candy Crush, games, mobile phone, games, social media, notifications. There are some people, I've been to 1 or 2 places to work, and as a consultant, I go around to different offices, and somebody's phone, whenever any WhatsApp message enters, tung, 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 so loud. How do you concentrate in that kind of environment? That's why in some offices, they'll say you put your phone either on silent or you very low tone and a soft tone, just very silent. And only for calls alone, and maybe for SMS. But not for every WhatsApp message that enters, every Facebook notification, throughout the day. How do you concentrate? See, if we don't manage some of these things, they will manage us. And when mobile phone manages us, mobile phone will not manage you in the right. It's like money controlling a man. I hope you know money is not a good controller. It's good when we're in control of money. But if you see a man that money is controlling, those days when we were young and, they say some people did some strange things and they said they hit it. And in 2 weeks, he has finished 5 million. Money was controlling him. At that time, it was just, let's go and do this, let's go and do this. We'll just be spending. When everything finishes, his eyes will now clear. Say, what have I done? Where's the money? Money was in charge. It's not good for mobile phone to be in charge. I remember Pastor Bola once mentioning that he hardly has time to look at WhatsApp message. That if he wants his ministry to shut down, he'll go and start looking at what. Do you know how many thousands we are in Solid Rock alone? Then people that know him all over, other places he has pastored, and then people sending all manner of, Pastor, have you seen this? Pastor, this one, videos, jokes, all manner of things. If he sits down to start going through WhatsApp, that's too dangerous. So he has known how to manage, and I took a leaf from that. Must manage. I don't look at some WhatsApp messages. I'm sorry to. I'm copying my pastor. If I'm expecting something from you or it's business, I check. But somebody sends me one video sent to 10 people, and that is the way to salvation. In fact, I will delete it immediately. You must send this to 20 people or else no way. That is not where my favor will come from. My help comes from the Lord, not in sending WhatsApp messages to 10 people. Say amen and say it to other 100 people. You will get a miracle today. It's not written in the Bible. It doesn't work that way. I don't let people play psychological tricks on my mind. Prioritization, managing distractions. We must manage distractions. We must not let distractions manage us. Next page. Distractions can lead to errors, true or false. Poor quality of work, does it? It can lead to reduced focus, poor manager and employee relationship. Because if your manager sees you from time to time, you are the one always getting up, moving around. You are the one that is not delivering. Somebody's laughing. Not delivering results on time. You have a lot of errors in your work. He won't be happy with you. She won't be happy. There will be poor relationships and poor relations between you. And it will go down in your records. So, distraction must be done away with. How? Is the question. Next page, please. What causes distractions? We mentioned them. The internet, cell phones, gossip, and unengaged co-worker. What about internal distractions? Hello? We have internal distractions. For instance, illness. If a person is sick and the person is having pain somewhere, it's going to be hard for such a person to concentrate. As a manager or supervisor that is emotionally intelligent, that is sensitive, and knows that this person cannot be productive in this state, you say, go and take care of yourself. So far as you've recognized that this is not somebody that's always, some people once they know that you are considerate. They want to manipulate you. So they always have a different excuse for every new day that God creates. God creates a day, they create an excuse. They always want to manipulate you. For those kind of people, you put a stop to it. There must be balance. But in genuine cases, which you will know because you work with these people on a day-to-day basis, somebody is not looking too good. Somebody is having a problem. Just go and take care of yourself. Because if that person stays there by force and they make an error, you and the person will carry the error together. If money is lost, a customer is dissatisfied and leaves, you will regret that, why didn't I tell this person to go to the hospital? So it's better to release them. Let them take care of it. Number 2 point, internal distractions. Worrying. A person is worrying. Please, not everything your manager can do. Your manager is not a full-time counselor. To some extent, a manager will play a counselor's role. In supervision management, we teach this, that managers play many roles. And it's not just about goals and instructions. A manager should know how to be empathetic, show concern for people that work with them. Because when the person is whole and things are moving well, they can perform their best. Besides, those are opportunities to earn people's loyalty. I hope we know that you cannot command loyalty. You can't command people to be loyal to you. You win their loyalty. Somebody has just started work with you, does not have accommodation, doesn't know where to go to at night, is new in Lagos. I said, that is not my business. Once you get to the door, as far as I'm concerned, put all your problems at the door. Have you heard that kind of thing before? Put all your problems by the door and come in here and work. It can't work. Let's be sincere. It can't work. Their problems will pursue them. What stops manager discussing with HR? I think I'd like to work with this person, but they're having this problem. Can we advance this person alone to at least 6 months, and they look for the rest, pay for a place, and then we deduct it from their salary on a monthly basis? And you do that for that lady or gentleman, the person has peace of mind, and the person will appreciate you. This thing you've done for me. When you call that person and say, hey, I need this assignment, that person will jump up and say, yeah, this is home. I feel like I belong here. They're ready to contribute. But you tell them, no, look, as far as I'm concerned, we are here to work. When you get here, just put all your problems at the door. You missed on an opportunity to earn the loyalty of your staff. Do a lot of commanding. And in case you have a lot of energy and you say, I don't mind commanding, hey, I worked in the banking industry. There were a lot of people with a lot high energy. Most of them were on drugs. Can I tell you, hospital day, we had hospital we use. On heart days, a lot of our senior people, they have heart problem. The ones that go for diabetes clinic, the ones that go for ulcer, they have one problem or the other. Because God did not build our bodies for stress. So when you constantly stress that I can shout, is it to shout? I will shout. I will do this. I will use. Your body will wear down. Your body will break down. You may use aggression as a strategy, once in a while to get things done. Do you understand? There may be a time and a season when you need to come out and say, guys, everybody move it right now. And you go tough, you use aggression. But that is just to achieve an objective. It must not be there permanently. It should not become a lifestyle. Use it strategically. Then you go back to being who you are. You take it easy. And so it's important that we learn to win the loyalty of our staff with strategic moments when they need our help. Fatigue. And like I said, our managers are not gods. They can't solve every worry for us. There are some things that you yourself may just have to deal with. Somebody misbehaved in an office some time ago. Why? At the interview, she outperformed all the other staff. She went to Wave Crest, one of the top hotel training schools in the land. And everybody had confidence in her. Apparently, she tried to make up with her boyfriend over the weekend. And the guy said no. She said she'll work on her anger problem. She has an anger problem. The guy said, no, I'm tired. And then she carried it to work. She did not deal with the issue. I said, look, this thing, I have to find a way to manage it. Or let me talk to somebody that can help me. Sometimes you have to seek help. But she didn't deal with it. What she did was she carried it and she acted it out on a customer. And the customer happened to be an important customer that came to assess them, whether their company, an oil company, could reserve some suites, specially in that hotel, for guests and other people from outside. They missed a big opportunity because somebody did not manage their personal worries. Please, there's something called self-management, because sometimes some people will say, oh, I'm real. When I'm angry, everybody knows. Please, it's not a virtue. It's not a virtue. It's not something to boast about. Let us do this, and then I'll move on. I teach emotional intelligence, and so these kind of things, I know they're very important, and I don't like to miss out on them. When a baby is hungry, please, what do? They cry. When a baby is wet in the pants, in pampers, what do? They cry. Anything the baby cries, the baby acts their emotions. Now, if your baby is 5 years old and has learned to talk, you've taught them some basic things to poo-poo, and he starts crying, which parent will be happy here? 5-year-old child. Like, why is this child embarrassing me? In fact, you come to the altar to pray. My child is 5 years old, is still behaving like a 1-year-old. God, please help. If it's from the village, Father, rebuke them. In other words, as we grow older, it is expected that we are able to manage our emotions and our feelings. So it's not a thing of virtue that somebody is angry and thereby in the workplace, you act it out and say, me, I don't like to pretend. It's not about pretending. It's about self-control. It's about self-control, self-regulation, managing your emotions, not pretending. I once asked somebody, it was a lady in a company I went to speak with, and I said, but me, that is how I am. I can't hide my feelings. I don't like to pretend. She insisted I was pretending. So I asked the question. I said, if the MD comes in here now, and as we are training, and is on a tour of the plant with Governor Ambode, and both of them pop into this training hall, the MD and Governor Ambode, and they want to take selfie with us, we used to maintain the anger. No, sir, that's different. I said, how is that different? I thought you were angry. Everybody said she will be smiling, and then she kept quiet because immediately your mood will switch. Will it not switch? That means it's actually possible for you to control it to switch. But before, you said, no, it can't be done, that you'll be pretending. It can be done. It's all a matter of choice. You exhibit what emotion is appropriate for the right place. Some things are not appropriate in the workplace. Take them out of the workplace and don't spoil the work and other people's moods because of them. Managing distractions. Deal with your worry, deal with your fatigue. Next click. Ways of managing distractions. Number one, address the issue. Address the issue. Don't leave it. Speak to yourself. Get a counselor. Call a loved one that you can talk to. Call your pastor. Deal with the issue. Number two, keep a to-do list and allocate time for tasks. You want to manage distraction, keep a list of the things you want to do. So that if something happens, generator blows, God forbid. By the time you got back, do you know that you'll have forgotten most of the things you wanted to do? But if you have a list in front of you, you simply go back, oh, this is what I was about to do when that thing happened. And you get back on focus. Keep a to-do list. It will keep you focused. And most importantly, allocate time. I must finish this before 1. I must finish this before 2. That will help you to stay on track so that when a distraction comes, you can easily tell the person, look, I'm busy right now. Number 3, address environmental distractions when you can. When you can. What are environmental distractions? Somebody help us. When I say environmental distractions, what do we understand? Distractions in your environment. Yes, sir? Noise. Traffic. If possible, you can close the window. Yes, another one. Environmental distractions. We mentioned one earlier. Colleagues that are gossiping or discussing. You can tell them, please, can you guys, I'm doing something very important here. Or you can get up and go and use the boardroom. Or go and use another office. But I put a caution there. I said, manage environmental distractions when you can. things are actually beyond us. Rain. Thank you, Ma. Rain, what can you do about rain? Or maybe the AC is spoiled and the only window has been opened, and so noise pollution is coming in. So there's nothing anybody can do about that. And so there are some times you just have to force yourself to focus. And how do you do that? Maybe you tell yourself, you remind yourself how important the task is. Number 4, manage people's expectations. I spoke on this one earlier. Manage people's expectations. When you have conflicting requests, sometimes you need to speak and let people know that, hey, I'll handle this later. Oh, can you give this to another person to handle? When you manage the expectations, there's less on your neck, and then you can focus on the task at hand. Number 5, block out digital pressures. We've spoken on that too. Digital pressures from your mobile phone, from social media, notifications, and all that. Calls. I have a friend, when he's somebody that is called a lot, he's a consultant, but when he has something very urgent, you know, some of us will put our phones on silent. He will even switch it off. And then he'll put it on. They say, if it's important, the person will call back. Because this is so important to me. He's going to pay my bills for the month. I need to concentrate and deliver. I promise the customer I will deliver, I must deliver. But really, you can put your phone on silent. Manage digital pressure. Don't let them manage you. Next one, do your most important tasks first. Can we read that together? We mentioned this briefly under planning or so. Let me mention it again. People that achieve high performance, that achieve a lot daily, they have this habit of facing their most important tasks first. They get to work early, they start work early, while others are still meandering, looking for coffee and who has milk and sugar, and talking about the Chelsea-Arsenal match. They've hit the ground running. And they hit the ground running with their most important tasks. They don't spend their early morning when their minds are still very alert, when they have a lot of energy, on petty things that nobody will ask, how did you do this? And then later on, when the day wears on and they are tired and the sun has come up and customers are coming and there are distractions, they now face their most important task. They'll now be complaining that people are disturbing. They face the most important things early in the morning, so that in an hour or two, they've achieved a lot. And by the time you lift up your head by 10 a.m., you're like, ah, yes, I've done something good today. Then you hit the remaining tasks. So start with the most important things. Deal with them, and then work on other tasks. Next slide. Now, the last item we are looking at today is what we call procrastination. Somebody said, beating procrastination. Procrastination is another major time thief. It's a killer of productivity, either personal and at home or in the workplace. Procrastination is the art of deferring things, delaying things unnecessarily, putting off what needs to be done straight away to an unspecified time, according to the Chambers 21st Century Dictionary. You just defy it. I'll do it later. Like that example we looked at in goal setting. The person that says, one day, I will learn swimming. He postpones it and he never gets to it. To keep delaying something that must be done, often because, now listen to this, often because it is unpleasant or boring. Often we delay these things because it might be unpleasant or boring. You know that you have the opportunity to speak with the governor's wife. She's a relative of yours, and you could easily visit her house. In fact, once in a while when you have family gatherings, you see her. And that she could make a difference with a word, and that she will do it. But the task is a bit unpleasant because you don't want her to feel like she did you a favor. And you know you are going to do it. It's not as if you said, no, I'm not going to do it. I will do it. speak to that woman. And 1 year passes, you haven't spoken to her, and you don't have a job. 2 years passes, and you're still delaying. I say, the governor's wife is your sister-in-law. And no, I'm going to meet, not that I won't, but it's just that she will now be feeling as if. That is procrastination. Procrastination is, this thing must be done. Who has read or heard of the title, a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog? You have, Eat That Frog. Okay, thank you very much, sir. He wrote this book many years ago, talking about this issue of procrastination and time management. And basically what it's saying is this. You know, even in some African cultures, they say that some frogs, people eat those frogs. They're very rich, and they are nutritious. Don't pretend as if you haven't heard. Don't pretend. Some people eat frogs in our cultures, in our environment. We do. Thank you, Ma. Some people eat frogs, and it's nutrition. And see, they are special frogs. And they say they are very nutritious, very rich. And you know, it's a delicacy. But, you know, merely looking at a frog, you know, it could be irritating. And that's where Brian Tracy is coming from. He says there are some tasks that they are very important. They have a lot of reward potential, but they may not appeal to us, and we don't want to do them. He says if you are going to be a professional, if you are going to be effective, eat that frog. Do that task. Face it with boldness. Plan it. Attack it. Achieve it. And call it a done deal. Move on to the next thing. The more we practice these habits and we learn to nail these important tasks, the more we'll discover that we are achieving in life. Those tasks that are not so pleasant, but they have a lot of reward potential. We attack them, we get them done. And then you can face the minor things later. Slide, please. So, steps to beating procrastination. The number one thing you want to do is to identify it. Somebody says, once you discover that you have a problem and you name it, that problem is half solved. If somebody has a problem and you call it by a beautiful name, you don't call it what it is. You won't work on it. So identify it. Do you like to wait for the right mood or perfect moment before tackling an important task? That's a sign that you're a procrastinator. Hello? That's a sign that a person procrastinates. You want to be in the right mood before doing. Can you imagine who knows the world boxing champion, Anthony Joshua of Nigerian descent? Can that man on a day that is supposed to fight somebody for maybe $300 million, he says, I'm not in the mood. I don't think I will fight again today. Is it possible? No way. He's a pro. Regardless of his mood, he will make himself do what he needs to do, and he will do it well. Somebody said a professional is somebody that can put in their best work even when they don't feel like it. But an amateur, any day, I'm not in the mood today, Jerry. I'm not going to work. Any slight thing, an amateur will quit. An amateur boxer is like that. They don't pay them any money, or maybe they just pay them enough for transportation. So if they are beating him too much, you say, Oga, I'm not fighting again, I'm going. But a professional boxer said, this is my life, I got to do it. He will stick it out. You need to ask yourself this question as a worker. Am I a professional or an amateur? And these things will easily fall into place in our minds. If we find out at every slight excuse, we find a reason to jump ship. We find a reason to push away a job or to push it onto another person. I'll say that person is an amateur, going by this definition. A professional will tackle what needs to be done. It doesn't wait to be in the right mood or perfect moment. Do you sit down to start an important task? Then every little distraction, you want to start a task. They start talking about football. You say, it's true, that match. And you start paying attention to them. That is a sign that you procrastinate. Every little thing that happens, you pause and you pay attention to that thing. That is a sign that a person procrastinates. How are you? How are you doing today? Can I carry this? Oh, it's for me. Keep that bottle for me, and I'll keep this two for you, okay? Thank you, sir. Keep it. I'll collect it later, okay? Thank you. Number 3, do you usually start? And I mentioned this earlier. These are just some steps for us to identify procrastination in case it happens. Do you usually start with the unimportant and easy to do things, and you leave all the major things till later? Is a way of procrastinating. Next slide. After you have identified it, you need to understand why you are doing it. It could be that the task is unpleasant. You know, when you know what is happening, you know how to handle it. The task is unpleasant. Sometimes it is because we are disorganized. A disorganized person will often procrastinate. And even when they want to start their work, sometimes they can't find the right tools because everything is mixed up. Number 3, you work hard, but you do not prioritize. So you work very hard, but you may start with minor things that your manager will not appreciate. And the most important things, you leave them undone. Number 4, it could be some people are perfectionists. They want everything to be perfect, and because of that, they procrastinate. So you see a man that is 45 years old that says, and is marriageable, and there are people waiting, and he has a job, but he says, no, I want a perfect home. Before I marry, I must have 3 cars, one for myself, one for my wife, one to carry the children to school. I must have my own house, and there must be a duplex. I must do this. And says, until these things are in place, I'm not getting married. It's just an excuse to procrastinate. It's a way of procrastination. And some people are like that with work. They say, everything must be. Before I start, I must have all the tools that I need. Most successful entrepreneurs, they didn't start with everything on ground. They started with what they had, they added to it, they expanded, they opened another office. As I'm looking at somebody, and as I'm saying this, the example is coming to mind because I witnessed that happening in his life. I knew where he started in a small office. Later on, they moved to a bigger place. Later on, they had more hands from having just 1 or 2 people. That's how entrepreneurs grow. Businesses grow. You don't start from the top and you have only little business. If you have a very big office and nobody in the building, or you start with 20 staff, where are you going to get the business, the money to pay the salaries? So we grow businesses. We don't start perfect. So you don't have to you don't have to have the situation perfect before you start acting. You just need to have the major tools on ground. Number 5, it could be that a person has no goals. And because, we said goals give us direction and clarity. And so when a person has no goals, there's the tendency that they will delay and deter. They will procrastinate. They will be unmotivated. They will lack energy. Next slide. Any questions before we go on? Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is beyond control at times can cause us that when we're supposed to be a professional, where we say, behave, and remain as an amateur. Mostly, let me use government establishment as an example. In where you are working, you have school fees of children to pay, you need to feed your family, and you are not paid 5 months' salaries. And you see the governors or most the parastatals, let me just give you an example. Security vote now runs millions of naira every month.
Yeah.
And you are sitting, because I won't mention the name of the governor. Last one, he threatened the civil servant that if you don't vote for my particular candidate, the next 3 months, I'm not going to pay anybody. How do you expect such to have a kind of motivation in order to do the job?
Excellent. Very beautiful question and a very powerful one because it covers many things. Now, let me just bring some clarity and put it this way. Number 1, when we are talking about prioritization now, we want to focus on what is within my capacity. Actually, as human beings, some things are beyond our control. But even for those things that are beyond our control, how we respond to them really matters. I think Pastor Bola is currently doing a teaching on Tuesdays right now, and on the spirit and the inner life, the inner man. And right now is on the right response to situations. That some things will happen. You can't stop them. But your response depends on you. If you take the wrong response, it could cause chaos. If you take the right response, it could make the situation manageable. In talking about prioritization, a man has prioritized that he will pay school fees. However, government does not pay his salary. What does he do? He will have to look for alternatives. It's not easy, it's hard. But that man, if education is his priority, and this is where the individual's goals and values come to play. There are people that, at the slightest excuse, may say, let the children stay at home. There are even some people that they don't need an excuse. We know, those days walking on the island, there were some people that if they get money, they will throw party, and they haven't paid their children's school fees. It just shows where their values are. At the same time, we have seen villagers, extremely poor, but prioritize education. That, my child must go to school so that they don't go through what I go through. And without, they do everything they can. They will beg, they will go and seek assistance, they will sell wood, and they pay, and they see their children through school. So I think really the most important thing is where we started, goal setting. You know, we said it at the beginning, that if we don't have clear goals and my values, this is what I want to achieve, we will lack motivation. It will be hard to focus when distractions come. So back to the beginning, having clear-cut goals in life, it will guide us in such situations. Any other question? Any other question? Yes, sir? The mic, please.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's not a question, really. There's a youngster somewhere there who raised the question of not having capital to do something.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I can.
There's a contribution.
Yeah.
Please do. Please do.
Right. I want to use my own experience because I don't. You said something concerning plan yourself, set something, then go to people that can help you. It doesn't work for me, and I don't believe in going to look for people. So what I did was the frog, eat the frog. Was what I did, but I don't put it as eat the frog. I put it as eat the frogs because it was a serious task for me. So what I did really was I have a plan. I'm a social media strategist and I'm a blogger and branding. So I know I have something to offer. So what I did was set what if I get to you, if I tell you what I want to do, you're gonna really come on, open and say, okay, I like this. So that first. Then secondly, what I did was actually was walking to all shops. That was out terrible.
Intensive marketing.
That's why I said
Intensive.
Eat the frogs. So
Excellent.
Even sometimes when I get home, I have blisters on my foot because I park my car from the beginning of the store and I walk inside.
Wow.
Eat like 20, 30 shops so I can get 5 clients.
Great.
So
Thanks.
Then after that, I started getting people. I get people laugh at me. I say, this guy is crazy. He's walking about. And guess what? I'm telling you, real experience. Most of the people that laughed at me, some of them are actually draw a plan for their businesses now. So sometimes it might not work for him. So we'll let him set something and hit on the street as well.
Thank you very much. Wonderful contribution. Determining what works for you. I think we mentioned then that you must research and find out what are the options available. Yeah. So find out, are there institutions that can offer grants? Are there people you can talk to? Or if you have a ready product, in your case you had a ready product, it needed leverage, it could go bigger, but you had a ready product, so you marketed it aggressively. Yeah. So depending on who you are and the situation you find yourself, some people need equipment to start at all. And they need money to buy those equipment. So each case, but That shows tenacity, and that's one of the things we're talking about. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Okay, so steps to beating procrastination as we gradually wind down. You've identified it. You've understood why you do it. The next thing is to deliberately work against it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. There's no theory, nothing we are going to say here. If you don't ginger yourself and act on it, it will not become tangible. And I've seen people attend seminar after seminar without taking one action. Oh, it's not that the concepts don't work. They work. These concepts are taught all over the world, and it's working for people. In organizations pay to have their staff trained in these things. What will really work is when you pick one and you act on it, you focus on it. Then that action will translate it into a benefit for you. So deliberately work against it. Somebody say deliberately work against it. Procrastination is a habit, and it requires conscious determination and persistence to overcome it. It won't go easily. For most of us that procrastinate, we've been doing it for years. It didn't happen all of a sudden. And if you've ever had to break a habit before, you know that it's a battle. But when you tell yourself, this habit will kill me if I don't kill it, then you know where you are going, and then you can work against it. Slide, please. So it takes effort to overcome any wrong habit. Steps to beating procrastination. Number one, you may want to identify and clearly state the benefits of accomplishing the task. If you are going to do anything, identify the benefits. This is very important. In fact, when speaking with salespeople, I always tell them to do this because there's a course on selling skills that we teach. That you don't walk into an office, you meet, you go on a blind call, cold call, and you start by introducing yourself, telling them all about your company, and then telling them the do's and don'ts. I've seen a salesperson start by selling this thing, we don't do like this is what you want, you must do this. Giving me rules before I've become a customer. You start with the rules, laws of your company. And that is what is supposed to attract me to make me a customer. That's the wrong approach. The first thing you want to do is connect. Connect with them. How are you doing, ma? Hey, this is your son. Wow, this fine guy. There's no parents, you make a compliment about their child that doesn't melt their heart a bit. I walk into a supermarket, I want to sell a product for them. Wow, you people have a wonderful place here. And you set up just a year ago. Great. You're really, and we thank God, oh. That's how we are doing it, oh. You have connected. From connecting, you start with the benefits of the product. You sell benefits to people, not rules. Ma, this thing I'm holding, you can do this. You can use it to do this. You can use it. So you get them with the benefits. Is when you have hooked them and the person shows interest, you now start talking about price. You now start talking about how to register. You now start talking about all those other things. Connect. Get them interested by listing the benefits. The same thing with procrastination, because we are human beings. You must know the benefits. What do I stand to gain if I master this thing? I'll become more effective. My boss will respect me. He has always been complaining about this thing. Every appraisal, he will mention it. So if I deal with this thing, it will be removed from my appraisal. I will stand a chance of getting promoted. My husband will become happier. My wife will become happier. I will achieve more. List out the benefits. And if they're worth achieving, then you'll be able to work on them. Number 2, set time-bound goals for yourself and act on them. Don't say, one day, I will do it. Fix a time. Within the next 3 months, I'm going to do this thing. And after setting a time, a fixed time, keep a prioritized list. Priority. How you intend to go about it. Get someone to check up on you. Have an accountability partner. Hello? It could be at work, it could be at home, it could be a friend. Be accountable to let somebody know what you've set out to achieve. So that when you are weakening, the person can put a call and say, so how is it going? You remember somebody's watching. Sometimes you just want to share. Say, look, I'm getting tired. And the person will tell you, hey, you remember, you know why you started this. Keep focused. Be focused. Keep on track. Get an accountability partner. It often helps. Next one is, if the task seems overwhelming, if it seems so big, break it down into small pieces. For instance, if you tell somebody you have a target of 40 million naira for the month of April, if somebody has never done something like that before, it may be scary. Say, 40 million, how will I start? Say, actually, all you need to do is do 10 million every week. And really, that actually means you should just look for 3-4 people that can do 2 million every day. And then it becomes easier to chew. Somebody said, if you're going to eat an elephant, you know what to do? Cut it down into pieces. If you go to a party and they roast an elephant and put it on a big table in front of you, do you know that you may run away? You will run. But if you want to eat an elephant, let them barbecue it, fry it, whatever. Let them cut it into small pieces, package it, put it in the deep freezer, 2 deep freezers, small packages. Eat 1 pack a day, 1 pack a day. Do you know that in no time you'll finish that elephant? So if you have a task that is overwhelming, that appears so big, break it down into various components. Okay, let me start with this area. And by the time you finish that one, you say, yeah, I've made some progress. Let me move on to the next step. And lastly, reprogram your mind. Let me tell somebody next to you, reprogram your mind. You see, a habit has become like a stronghold in the mind. And sometimes you don't need to think. Take, for instance, biting of nails. Most people did it at one stage or the other in life when we were growing up. Other people did other things. Do you know that oftentimes you don't need to think before you put your finger in your mouth and start biting your nail? In fact, you could be doing it and you're not aware until somebody says, yeah, I'm doing it again. So what am I doing? Like, oh, I didn't know when I started. It has become a stronghold in your mind. You not do it subconsciously, automatically. So, in order to overcome procrastination, because procrastination is a bad habit, slide. You have to reprogram your mind. The slide, please. What some people do, no, back to the previous page. What some people do is to reward themselves for eating the frog. You remember the frog? So I've seen people do this. Each time they eat the frog, each time they do an unpleasant task, or they win something, they'll sponsor themselves to tasty fried chicken. I've actually seen staff doing this. They say, Oga, I'm eating tasties today. I'm treating myself. And so they celebrate it. Guess what? Each time you celebrate that you ate the frog, your mind, you know the mind, reward, it starts expecting the reward. So you start, the task won't appear so ugly anymore. If this little young man here now, if there was a block here, and he could hardly climb it, he struggles to climb it, struggles. Eventually when he climbs it, he's so tired. He may not want to go back there again. But suppose I give him a chocolate. And next time I tell him, climb it, and I give you a biscuit. Do you know that after some time, by himself, he will come and call me and say, and they will climb it. Daddy, I've climbed it. He wants the reward. The task is no longer unpleasant. His mind has been programmed to see it as something that will lead to reward. So you can do it for yourself. I've seen a lot of mature people do this for themselves. When they achieve a great task that was really challenging, they'll go and buy something. They'll buy a new shirt or take themselves out. You do it. Excellent. They do it. They reward themselves. And that will make, you are programming your mind not to be afraid of challenges. And so that when you face a task, you'll be like, yes, I'm waiting for the reward after. Even the Bible tells us, and I close on this note, that our Lord Jesus was able to focus on the task before him, that was going to the cross and dying, that he scorned the shame of the cross because of the glory that awaited him. So he focused on the reward, and because of that, he was able to endure the whipping, the abusing, the shame, the hardship, just because he knew what waited at the end of the day. That when I finish, the whole of heaven is going to rejoice. I'm going to win so many people, so many sons and daughters for my Father. And heaven will be richer because of it. Ladies and gentlemen, for being a very wonderful audience, can we put our hands together for ourselves? Thank you very much. Wonderful. Why do I say you're a wonderful audience? Throughout the class, out of like maybe over 100 here, only 2 people I saw doing like this. That means most of us were really with the program. Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay, now, for today, ordinarily when we have our programs, for those that joined us later on, let me just do a brief recap. We are the Solid Rock Job Bureau. It's a job bureau set up by the Pastorate of Solid Rock Parish for our members and friends, not restricted to our members alone. And what we do is we have some consultants, management consultants. Some of them are HR professionals, recruiters, and some are trainers, like I am a trainer, that manage the platform. So we have a WhatsApp group where we post job opportunities, where we get information from various colleagues and they're posted on that group so that our members can see job opportunities. We organize programs like this periodically where we conduct trainings of all types. We have 3 target audiences. People searching for jobs, number 1. People seeking to build their careers that are already working somewhere or the other, and even up to managerial level, because we have people with 20, 25, 30 years experience that we can call upon. We've done something like that before, when after a talk, we had a one-on-one counseling session, and we had people that we had invited, and they were meeting people, so that depending on your industry, you speak with whoever you think can be of benefit to you. So we do that. We conduct trainings, we post job opportunities, and we often bring in people from outside, subject experts, to speak to us. I'm an insider. I'm a solid rocker. Solid rockers in the house, say amen. Amen. If you want to join us, say amen. Amen. Good, excellent. So I hope the follow-up team are around. There are people that would like to join us. I'll need somebody. If you are visiting us for the first time, please, when we finish, don't just rush off. Let's just say a brief hello. We won't keep you too long. And then we'll release you. Yes, sir. Right now, we have a few more minutes left. We said 10 a.m. to 3 to 1 p.m. We have like 33 minutes more. What I want to do, just a moment, sir. And then what I want to do within this 33 minutes is this. For those of us that can stay, if you have any questions that God can help us to resolve, we will address them. I'm a management consultant with experience in sales, banking, and management in consulting. 28 years experience here and there. Managed a few branches within my time. I've worked with various people. I teach leadership. I teach customer service, business communications, and emotional intelligence. So by God's grace, we may be able, and even I know there are people in the audience here with a lot of experience in our midst. So let's ask questions. It could go beyond this topic. Let's try to quickly see how we may address them in the remaining minutes that are left. Yes, sir. Please, let's give Daddy the mic. Yes, let's clap for him.
Yeah, mine is... But I'll first of all thank you for this course, I should say.
Thank you, sir.
That's very splendid.
You're welcome, sir. Sir, could you face this way?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I don't know how possible it will be for you to give us those slides, because they could be of use to some of us who are new in that topic. I would request that probably you make available those slides, maybe after all. So thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Please, there's an attendance list going around, in fact, 2. And what we've asked is that you enter your details. I'm sure email column is there. So if your email is on that list, I will personally mail you a copy of this. Yeah. So let's make sure we put our names. There's a column for job seekers. There's a page for job seekers. There's a page for career builders, those already working that want to grow their careers. There's a page for entrepreneurs, business owners. Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Please, let's give him the mic. Please, we need the owner of this car to help us repark. You need to help us repark urgently. EPE 183BX. It's a Kia, K-I-A. EPE 183BX. Please, if you're in the audience, kindly help us repark quickly. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Mokwe Tosin.
You're welcome.
I usually don't attend seminars like this anymore because the content is usually recycled. But the day I saw the trailer, I had to set a reminder. And I must say, I've really learned a lot here. But I want to ask a question with regards to the connection between procrastination and prioritization. Now, I might not be procrastinating with regards to work because now I have to manage people, but there's an area of my life I would like to share with you, and you tell me if I'm procrastinating. Now, when I was in my 20s, I was working out a lot because looking good and fit was important then. But now I'm responsible for a company, investors' money and all of that. So looking all built is not a priority. But people keep telling me, Tosin, your stomach, this and all of that. And I'm like, look, when I'm ready, I can get a gym in my house and all of that. So my question, Sasa, is this. Am I procrastinating? Because when I don't get much sleep these days because I'm thinking about business, not biceps and triceps.
I totally understand you, my brother.
So
priorities have changed.
Exactly. So is it procrastination?
No, not at all. We started this program, this session, by saying, first of all, you must identify what are your personal values. And if it's an organization, what are the company or the department's values? That will help you to set your goals. And it's based on your goals that every other thing falls into place. It's based on your goals that you now plan that, okay, how do I meet these goals? It's based on your goals that you now say, hey, if I spend time doing this one, I'm doing something that's not a priority. These are the things that are my priority that will take me towards my goal. So what may take me towards my goal that I consider a priority to another person is not a priority because their goals are different. So your goal then, as a young man, that was how it was for most of us. We wanted to, and so you wake up early in the morning before you go to work, you'll gym. You come back late at night, you will gym. But is that a priority now? So your priorities have changed, my brother. You don't need to feel guilty about it at all. Though it's also good to keep fit. It has a lot of health benefits. But priorities have changed. Thank you. Yes, another question? Question contribute. Yes, sir, over here. Mike? Or maybe, don't worry, let's do this. I will listen to the person and repeat the question. It is going to save us time with the mic. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have this idea of setting up a website. I've already done my research and every other thing. Even the money, as in how much it will cost. Yeah. How much it will cost, everything. But, you know, it's not like if you want to, like if you have this idea of, as in owning a restaurant, like you can start small and grow. But I want to know how, as in, I want you to advise me on how to go about it.
Okay, I mean, raise the money to start. All right, the question is how to raise money to start building websites, to get the equipment that you need. Well, there are many approaches, and like we mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were around then, it will depend on you what you like to do, on the resources that are available around you. Like for the gentleman there, he said, even if there are people that he can speak to, he would rather not speak to anybody. He would rather go the hard way, go one-on-one and market his product. And like we agreed, there are some people that don't even have any small product to sell. They must get some equipment, laptop, some things, specified kind of designed laptop and all that to start. Then you look at what is available. I don't know where you are, but if you look at your environment, what does it offer? Look at the people you have. Are there capable neighbors? Are you friendly with anybody in the church that you think that they are capable? Do you have a program in the church? Do you have a program in the family? Is there somebody in the family? Is there an elder person? Is there an organization? There are even organizations these days. And this is why I mentioned earlier, I said go on the internet. Because sometimes some of us have met with disappointments in meeting people one-on-one. And I've learned over time that you shouldn't be bitter. You just don't know what burden each person is carrying. And you don't know how many people have met that person before you. And some people look good on the outside. The burden they are carrying on the inside is even greater than your own. In fact, they sit down and talk with you. You say, don't worry. You don't worry about my own. So I'm coming. I haven't finished. So what I'm saying is, they are, number one, I want us to get this. The most important thing is you must sit down and think. I can't stand here and tell somebody and say, this is what you must do to get money. There are many ways and different approaches. It will depend on the ones that are available to you. You must sit down and write with paper and biro. What are the opportunities? Go on the internet. Is there an organization that sponsors people like this? I've heard of organizations that will say, if you do internship with them, they will equip you when you are done. Or they will get you a job where you can now earn that money. I've heard of people that said, oh, we have grants like this. There's a group on Facebook, school educators, and sometimes the person will come out and say, hey, we have somebody that has said they have money for people that have this kind of need. And people will make, oh, I have this person, I have this person. The thing is, do research. Think. So another person will say, and somebody used to tell me this many years ago, he said, Kunle, sit down. This project you want to run. Drop 20 names of people that you think can give you 10,000 naira each. Then start going to them. The sales people will tell us, if you must get one customer, be ready to speak to 10 people. So if I must get 100,000, drop the number of names that you think you need to drop, and organizations or whatever, then start your work. It's going to require work. It's going to require thinking. I really cannot prescribe. I can only suggest. Then you will now narrow it down to the one you think will work for you, and you work on that. Okay? Thank you very much. Yes? Any contributions? Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me also. Employee, PT.
Like what that brother said. I learned something from the Igbo guys. They said when you want to get a cow from a chief, buy him a chicken. When you buy him a chicken, you get a cow. What am I saying is that it has worked for me. I did it with water, plumbing, engineering stuff. I can go to someone and see something that is bad. I will do it free. Then I will call the attention of that person. From there, the person will get my number. Any other time, the person will start calling. It has worked for me. Let's put down together for a company. That I'm working with a company now, and it has worked for me in that way. So.
That's mind reorientation. How many workers, plumbers, will go and start fixing things free? In fact, some may sit down and say, they won't even call us that we are here in their midst. And they are busy thinking about so many other things. They are thinking of so many things. They are human beings just like you. And you are thinking they will notice you and call you. Another person will go and offer, I do this service. That's creating awareness. He has gone a step further. He offered a free service. And if a plumber comes to your company or your organization and goes and helps you fix something, I'm sure you want to take his phone number. And the next time you have a job, you want to call him. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Excellent. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Help me cover with the mic. Those are the back.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I think I would just also want to talk about business and capital and all that. Very quickly, I think two things I would say is, first of all, identify, like you said, people around you that could help. Now, what do I mean? People might not want to hand you cash straight away, but you can do like a service trade, meaning that at some point we needed some equipment for some of the things we wanted to do. So the person that was supposed to give us the equipment, we didn't have the money to buy it. So what we did was, okay, do you know what? We could offer you this service that will quantify for the cost of this equipment. So let's offer this service for this equipment. So if, for example, you need a laptop, you could walk up to someone that you feel can probably give you that laptop or that can sell the laptop to you. Okay, what kind of IT service can I offer to you that will probably cost, even if it's half of this thing and you give it to me, then I can use the laptop to work and raise some other money to pay you off. So that's one way. Then the other way also could be that this particularly for people that are looking at maybe raising capital for business. You might not necessarily always have to raise capital for business per se. One thing we did at some point is we wanted to start an e-commerce site, and we didn't have the money for wholesale. That's what they would always require. So what we did was to sell an offer to the distributor that, look, you have this wholesale, you have all these people around the country buying from you, but you don't have an online presence. So let us be your online presence. We'll buy from you at a retail price, and we'll sell. And with that, we started an e-commerce site with 0 kobo. Okay, so that could also work for some other people too.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that contribution. Yes, could you give the mic to those at the back? There's somebody to your left there, over there. 2 people, and there's somebody here when you're done. Take 2 there and then over here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a good delivery.
You're welcome.
I just want to contribute in terms of procrastination. You mentioned benefits, but for me, what helped me is that I tell myself, if I don't do this task, what's the worst thing that can happen? So it's a little dramatic, but if I paint the worst case scenario, I just keep that picture in mind, and I'm telling myself, you know what? If you don't do this job, 10 people may die. If you don't do this job, these children may not get education. So I just keep that negative picture in mind, and it has helped me to...
You scare yourself into it.
Yes.
Wow.
Then in terms of, to contribute to the question of the man that said, if they are not paying you, I think in the Bible there were many porches that were leading streams to the garden. We need to start looking at getting multiple streams of income and not just focusing on salary. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Next person, there's someone in front here. Okay.
Who is the person?
Yeah, thank you. Again, I want to talk about the man that talks about the computer.
Okay, please. We'll take that, okay. And then I think that we should round up on that topic. Okay. And let the rest of us speak on things. No. Go ahead and speak. After your own. I'm just encouraged that we leave that topic alone and speak about other things.
Okay.
Let's have questions to do with the workplace and all that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, with my experience, if you know how to design a website, which I do as well, but at this point, I can tell you, I can't remember when last I designed for people, because I have people under me. Okay. So basically what you can do is you can basically market yourself to people.
To people that are already established.
There are millions of people that need websites. So you don't have a laptop to work. Get a job. If you get 4, 5 people, 6 people.
The person will equip you.
Thank you. You get money to buy what you need. All you need is just domain hosting. You go there, plugins and all these things fixed.
Beautiful.
And like my brother says, sometimes this is amazing. I do that a lot. You give people free service. Look for 4 people that you know they are very established, big.
Yeah.
So when you get when you give them free services, they give you refers to other people. This has 100 people extra coming to you, so they get to pay for those people's free service.
Excellent.
Thank
Excellent. You. Excellent. So there are always options. That's why I said at the beginning, just think, analyze, make inquiries. There will be something that will work out. Yes. Please, before I come to us, okay, I was going to say, because somebody has been raising up her hand over there for long, so go and give her the mic. You can use my mic to speak while we're doing that. The lady, is it purple or, yeah, give her the mic. She's been raising up her hand since. Yes.
Okay, 2 things quickly. I want to comment on the part of eating the frog. Sometimes you may not know how to eat the frog in the workplace. Get people around to assist you. If you don't know what to do, don't be too proud to say, I don't want to ask my colleague. Ask. They would guide you. This is how to eat the frog. This is where you should start from. And then you find yourself succeeding subsequently. Then about raising money, I know someone that wanted to do photocopying business, did not have money. What did he do? He met with people that could invest in the photocopying business. So they invested 30,000 here, 50,000 here, 20,000 here. And the investment is that you get your money back. Within 6 months, you drew up a plan. So if you invest 30,000 naira, he would pay you 36,000 naira. You make a profit, and then he's going to pay you 6,000 naira every month. So in 6 months, he has paid you 36,000, but his business is still running. That's just an example. So think of who can invest in this or who can partner with you. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together. Thank you. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Church.
Good afternoon.
My name is Doi. I think this question I want to ask is related to emotional intelligence. Right now, something is happening. I think, okay, I'm saying something in my place of work right now. I'm working at the contract staff under this company. Something happened last 2 weeks in my place of work. My boss that I'm working with, anything that I want to do in the office, he guides me or he tells me what and what to do. Actually, I'm a procurement officer in my place of work. So each time these vendors bring materials, I will tell him that because I want these materials, I'm the one I'm familiar with. My late dad are into it before he died that time.
So what really happened? Sorry? Because of time, there's many conditions.
So
you can just hit on the question directly.
Okay, the
you
question
can try to I'm sorry to
problem,
cut you short.
The question
Let's go to the question.
The question I want to ask is that I'll still have to let me just so I can I need the question and
okay,
answer.
Summarize the story.
Summarize the story. All right. What I want to summarize is that this material someone brought it. Actually, it was his colleague that supplied the material, and I told him that these materials are substandard, that they should return it. He said, "Okay, don't worry, we are going to use it like that." So our client that we supplied, that we did this work for, came back on me in particular because I'm the head of the department. Told my boss that these materials are substandard, they are fake, and this and that. My boss now came back to me, started shouting at me that why did I allow this material to be supplied? And I told him that when this material came in, I told you that this material is substandard, that is fake. But because it was his colleague that did the supply, he did not take action. So because our client was now making blaming him,
he now turned it on you.
Turned it to me. So actually through that week, I was emotionally imbalanced.
Yeah.
Even my staffs, yes, they even saw it on me that what happened to me that wasn't like this before. That what happened that day.
Excellent. And there's something very important I'm going to draw out there. Thank you very much for that.
Actually, the colleague that even supplied the material was also blaming me that did I document it? Did I send an email to do that?
And that is where I'm going to.
Sir, actually.
Hold on, madam. Hold on. We know that a lot of things happened, but I think the issue you are trying to draw out, let us nail the issue, is that poor quality materials were supplied, you raised an objection, your boss went ahead. Now, when it's backfired and customer complained, everybody's angry and they are putting the blame on you. Yes. That is the issue. Whether 2 people said it, 5 people said it, another person said it 2 months later, the thing is they are blaming you. So how do you manage such a situation? Right? Is that the question? What should you have done? Or what can you do in the future to prevent such?
So let me say something.
No, please ask the question. Madam, ask the question. Ask the question. I think that's the issue. But if you think that that is not the issue, I'm not... No, we don't really have the time. We have a lot of people, many questions. You have to, you see, before you speak, you have to narrow it down in your mind so that you can punch it straight away. What is the question? Tell us the question.
So is that okay? I have to
handle such a situation. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Excellent. Now, you want to answer that? Do you want to answer that question? Please, in 1 minute, sir. In 1 minute, sir. Thank you. Less than a minute.
Good day to you, sir. Madam, in case of another time, when such situation occur, first thing you do when you receive a material is, and you have an objection to it, you write a memo to your boss telling him or her that this is not proper. Let your boss say anything he wanted to say. You have a documented evidence you can make reference to anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. And this is why I like your contribution and your question, because, madam, this is why I appreciate what you have raised, because it's something that other people can benefit from. A lot of times in the workplace, people feel that, oh, we are one big family, which is good, and then they do things verbally. And when you don't do things officially, it will not be a matter of your word against another person's own. But if my boss, if that thing had happened, I send an email I don't make my objection verbally. I send an email or I write something to him, or even on WhatsApp, depending on the organization, that, sir, this is what I found out, this is what I found out, and I keep it. So if tomorrow my boss comes and says, hey, why did you do this? I'll say, sir, have you forgotten? Can you see? I told you that this is this. You told him, did you document it? Okay, but your boss now said, you told him on the phone. No, I'm talking about, did you type it? Where? On email. Email. And why didn't you show him the email? Okay, that's different. Then you just, in that kind of situation, and that is okay. If that happens, if you've done your part, madam, now, when you raise something, listen, not to the people around you. Look, you are right. Nobody is saying you're wrong. You have documented it. You've done your best. But your boss is still impatient. Then that is big. What you now do is, look at, can I manage him? I know that this is how he is. So can I manage this and remain here? But if I can't, then while enduring, I'll be looking for somewhere else. No problem. Thank you. Yes, please, let's try to make it brief. Our time is almost up, and we want to maximize what we are doing. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, brethren. Okay, my question is about forestry. Is it a profitable business for one? Yes, for one to engage on?
While this is not exactly about forestry, I have no idea about forestry. But I'm sure that for some people it's profitable. There's no business that is not profitable. It all depends on how you approach it, how much knowledge of it you have, and what environment you're doing it in. Some people are making money from forestry. Lagos State has a department that handles that. I've run into somebody from there before when I was on something else. And the person said, oh, I'm into this and that. And some people have also lost money in it. So like every other business, it really depends on you. How much knowledge you have of what you're doing, how much you learn, what are the supports, that you have. It will depend a lot on you. Please do more research on it if you're interested. But I must be sincere. I'm a corporate person all my life. I have no idea about forestry. Yes, sir. Please, can we give him the mic? Or you want to raise up your voice, sir? Okay. Yes, sir. What did you? Forex. Oh, did you say forex or forestry? Forestry. She said it's forestry. Forestry, farming, trees, buying. Oh, forex. Oh. Sorry, but the answer is still the same. Forex, sorry, sir. Forex business is quite profitable for some people that are getting it right, and some people have lost big money in it. So it actually depends on how well you know that business, how well you master it before you invest in it. You must find out a lot of information, learn from someone that is doing it very well, and then test it little by little. if you choose to do it. I'm not doing it, I'm not suggesting it. But I know people are doing it successfully. People are also failing at it. All right, yes, sir.
Thank you. I want to contribute to what people have been saying since morning. When it depends on where you are at the level of your work. But I think whatever you want to do, training is very important. Because when you leave school, you got the principles, but you need somebody to hand you over to the town. So if you don't have work now, you need to volunteer and do research, even within your group mate. What can I do? Where can I train? Where can I volunteer? It gives experience. Beautiful. Two, when you want to raise money, you can't get money without being honest. And you can never test your honesty without having people that can vouch for your honesty. So whatever you want to do, like that man said, it worked for me. He just demonstrates his competence. And competence can never be proven without practical application of what you are doing. He's a plumber, and he fixes things. Some of the work cannot be done like that. If you're an accountant, you cannot go audit somebody's and say, I want to volunteer. You must be trusted. So you have to understand the terrain where you are playing. After understanding that terrain, look at the people that are working in that environment and surrender yourself. Sometimes you have to do it free, but you will gain because once you are trained, you can demonstrate your competency, and that one can move you to another level.
Excellent.
I think
excellent.
When you have competency, in terms with what you are saying about time management and whatever, you have focus, and you'll be able to deliver service for yourself and to order within a limited time frame. Because you may be doing something, and you may be wasting time. Even if you achieve results, the person will look at you. This person is not competent. Competence is about doing it right, efficiently, cost-wise, and quality.
And you build a reputation for yourself. And once you have a reputation, people will recommend you. Excellent. We have 5 more minutes to go. I'm taking these 2. Okay, these 3. But we have to, no, let me stop it at this 3. 1, 2, 3. We have 5 minutes to go. For the sake of the general class, we need to round up. And after we rounded up, then maybe we could see one-on-one, or we could write down our questions for another session that will come up by God's grace. So where's the mic, please? Thank you. Please, let's clap for the gentleman assisting with the mic. He's been a great help today. He just volunteered, to help us at the beginning. Yes, sir.
Yeah, praise the Lord. I really want to share something that I learned recently about time management.
Okay.
I discovered that before I got married, and I have a lot of time. Like, I'm an entrepreneur.
All of us, my brother, all of us.
So, and I discovered that when I got married and the firstborn, the secondborn came, and the secondborn will just wake up in the middle of the night and start playing. And you have to monitor and all that. It's already 4 a.m. and all that. But I then discovered that I was lacking in studying the Word of God. My quiet time was not consistent. So what I did was, around 7:30, there's a particular program I watch. I watched that program from 7:30 to around 8:30 or thereabouts. That's why this program is not as important as studying the Word of God. So what I now do is that, what I did was, I canceled the program. So I know that time they were watching TVs, my mother-in-laws and all that. So I just go inside the room. Yes, go inside the room, lock myself up for about 2-3 hours, study the Word of God and all that, because I have to keep that going as well. So, and it has been working.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. Somebody has said you cannot be productive or manage time effectively if you don't have a strong sense of responsibility and you don't have self-control. Those 2 things are very key. Next person. We said we are taking 3 questions. Next one. Okay. All right. Thank you. Please let me pause it. Yes, ma.
Thank you, sir. Please, I want to ask about, you were saying something the other time.
Put the mic to your mouth.
You are saying something the other time that we should not start everything with all the resources, that we can start with little resources. But in a situation that you are in a place that there are some important resources that you need to work with.
They are important.
But they
when we
are
say
not,
you don't have to start with everything,
okay,
it means you don't have to have your ideal office, your dream. Somebody, I'm I'm praying that God makes things available. I want my office 2-story, 3-story building. I will have 10 cars. I have so many staff. Do this, I will do that. Suppose you get that kind of money, and then you go and start the business like that, boy, and you don't even have one customer. So that means for the next 3-6 months, what will happen is you're having to borrow money or take money from your savings to pay salaries for people that are not working because you don't need them. You are paying rent for a building you don't need. You have acquired machines that some of them you may not use for the next 2 years. That's a waste. That's not business-wise. Having money and being able to buy equipment does not mean I know how to do business. Knowing how to do business is knowing which step to take. That's why we have a business plan that says you must, by this time, you should be doing this. Then you can now spread, you can increase, and then you do this. You must make sure that your business is paying for those resources. What you are generating for your customers can pay for the additional hands you hire, for the new machines you get. But at the beginning, you must start with those things that without them, you can't even, they are necessary. For instance, if I'm a tailor, I need a sewing machine, I need a whipping machine, I need a shop. Those are basics. I can't say I won't start with those ones. I must get those ones. But to say I want a second whipping machine, am I getting enough business to warrant a second whipping machine? Or will I just buy the machine and be feeling happy? Meanwhile, all the business is coming, we're doing it on one machine. So that machine is wasting. That means I've tapped down money that I'm not using. That's what I'm talking about, that you expand as there's demand.
Okay, thank you. My second question is on emotional intelligence.
Yes, ma'am. Let's do that quickly.
So how do we balance our emotions with the worry you get from the place of work? In a situation where you work hard, there are no resources to work with, and you get home, you are not fulfilled at the end of the day. So how do you balance it? There is nothing to practically work with.
Thank you.
There are no instruments.
Let me try. Now, this is what thank you very much, madam. Let's put our hands together for her. That's a big question. We have 1 or 2 minutes left. I will answer, but let me round up. Permit me to round up with other things first, and then I will address that. There are many ways to answer it, but one of the key things to do is when your environment is not supporting you. Because as much as we train managers, entrepreneurs to try and motivate and encourage their staff, it's not a guarantee that you get it. And sometimes you may not be able to leave the job because you need it. So there's what is called internal motivation, whereby you encourage yourself. Let me take the next question. I'll round up with that. And then, yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. This is a quick question. What will you do in the, like in a situation whereby you have a weird idea of establishing like a crazy idea, but they will tell you that it doesn't happen in this part of the world, like it doesn't happen in Nigeria. For example, let me give you this Go-Kada, this Uber, the Okada, it can only happen maybe in Lagos and in some cities that the road network is very bad, but it can't happen in like Abuja because you don't need it. So what if you have an idea that this part of this world, like Nigeria don't accept it, you have to like travel out to achieve your aim. Can we create an avenue for you to like fix it? Or maybe you should just...
Good question. If your idea doesn't fit your environment, there are people that have traveled out to express themselves. But before I get to that point, let me tell you something. Even that go-kart that I said can only happen in Lagos, I'm sure if you interview the person that started it, if that person needed to seek support, many people might have told him he can't walk, that Okadas are all over the place, Lagos. We will patronize you. But today, it's a reality. And that tells you something. So there's something it's saying, I can't remember exactly how it goes. It says, each time you hear somebody saying it can't be done, just watch. Very soon you'll find somebody doing it. So don't be limited by the fact that it's not happening or it seems. Sometimes people create products and then they create awareness. Sometimes people don't know they need a product. But you will now show them that, hey, I have this idea. See what it does. Oh, wow, I would like that too. I think that will work for me too. And then all of a sudden, you make people realize that they have a need that they didn't know. So sometimes, yes, most times we look for a need to fulfill in order to create a product. We look for a need that exists. We meet the need. We've created a business. But sometimes, if your passion is strong, you may have the need, have the product or the idea, look for ways to make people buy into it and realize that it will meet a need for them. And if it meets a need, it will sell. It will sell. Thank you. Excellent. Yes, as we come to a close, if you are not already on a job bureau platform and you want to join, kindly wait behind. Maybe we use this seats at the back here. Very quickly, once we are done, somebody will register you. It's a platform for people seeking for jobs and people already working that want to get new jobs. They want to increase their opportunities. So on that platform, we have some people that post job opportunities. They get it from HR people all over in different industries. And once they get the information, they just post it. So if it's for you, you go and work on it, you apply for it or do whatever. So once you are done, if you are not on that platform you want to join, there's a gentleman at the back there. Can you see him? That's Brother Femi. That's somebody that you must, don't let me let out the secret, but it's very important. Meet him and he will register you for the job bureau. Any other announcements? I think I've made them earlier. I hope the car has been reparked. It's been dealt with. Okay, and on that issue, on the self-motivation thing, let me just round up quickly with that because this one can affect every single one of us. There are times that your environment will not support you for what you want to do. And then you must learn what some other people have learned to work with. You know, motivation is good. And I don't think there's any human being that doesn't like to be motivated. The only problem is when we depend only on external motivation, that means other people motivating us. It could be a problem. Oh, we wouldn't like if somebody walks up and says, oh, we've been watching you. Take 5 million to promotion to the next level. I'm sure if you resume on Monday, if they do that to you on Friday, you receive 5 million in your account and they give you a letter of promotion. When you get to work on Monday, won't you be charged? You'll be motivated. The only thing is that external motivation is not something that is guaranteed. It may not come when you need it. Sometimes the person you are looking to, that this person will motivate me, they will notice my hard work and motivate me, that person may also need motivation. That person may be going through something that is worse than yours. That person might just have heard news that their son overseas has been kidnapped or arrested for drugs. So that oga comes to office in a big car with powerful tie, and his mind is far away. The worries on his heart are killing. He doesn't see you, so he can't motivate you. So you can't depend on external motivation. People that constantly perform and deliver, even when nobody is motivating them, are people that have learned to depend on what we call internal motivation. People that have asked their reason why. Why am I here? What do I start to benefit? What is my purpose? What is my goal? And because of that, no matter what happens, they say, I'm not leaving. We've seen people that will say, oh, I can't take insult. I can't take insult. They leave one job in 6 months. They go to another place. They live in 1 year. They go to another place. They live in 8 months. And they keep on living. And because they don't stay long in one place to get a promotion, they don't grow. So 10 years down the line, your mates that you graduate as senior managers, you are still at the beginning level. And now you have a family, and it's hard to cope. You are better learn to take insults, my friend. If there's anything that is guaranteed in life, the elders amongst us will tell us, is that every man will receive insult. True or false? You must receive it on earth. It's inescapable. The only thing you can do is choose where you receive your own insult. You say, I'm not taking it here. You go to another marriage to receive it. I'm not receiving it here. You go to another workplace to receive it. You can only choose. But if you are patient and you manage the insult you are receiving in one place, because it will surely come. Even if you are the organ, they can't give you insult, your subordinates will even give you. Even if they don't, downfall driver on the road will give you. Somebody will give you. But if you stay in one place and you manage the insults, after some time, the person may even get used to you and stop insulting you. And then you grow. Eventually, you get your promotion, you rise, you prove yourself. Nobody that is excelling today that does not receive insults. It's only that some people have learned to motivate themselves. They've learned to ask the question, why? If you don't know your why you are where you are there, you will abuse the opportunities that come to you. You will let go and you create a problem and you can't pay school fees and you can't pay rent and you can't do this and you can't do that. But when you keep your why before you, one woman told me years ago, she said, I just want to be able to go out, leave the home and go to work every day. That I'm tired. Every day, she doesn't need the job. Her husband is well-to-do. But that in the compound, if anything happens, it's she they will come and meet. Mama Emeka, so when the NEPA people come and cut lights. If some people fight, they will come and meet her. Hey, Mama Emeka, so who started the fight? Everybody, because she's always around. They know that she's on ground. She will see everything. Say, me too, I want to wear a skirt suit and go out. So that when I come back in the evening, people will respect the work. I say, welcome, ma. I want that respect. Please, any job. It's not the money. She had a why. If that person gets a job, it will be difficult for her because of one small thing. She'll say, I'm not doing it again. She knows what she's running from. So you must know your why. From knowing your why, my sister, you have internal motivation. It will help you to cope with some things in your environment. Because situations will not always be perfect. Bosses will not always be perfect. Business will not always be perfect. But when you have internal motivation, it helps you keep going. For entrepreneurs, also named on motivation, you must have internal motivation. There's what we call startup motivation. So my brother is doing pure water and is making a lot of money. And so I receive energy. I want to make money like him. I have no passion, no understanding of pure water. But because of him, I rush into it. My motivation is based on what is driving him. It's not mine. It's not from inside. When I face challenges, when those drivers do me somehow, when local government comes, I say, how are they coping in this business? I can't come and kill myself. Lagos English. I can't come and kill myself. The person will pack. Boom. No more pure water. Look for which one? They are selling recharge card. But this man that had sustaining motivation, that had a reason for doing what he's doing, because he wanted to provide water for a community, is tired of their children dying from bad water. And even when he faces challenges, guess what? He sticks with it and says, I'm not going to let you people defeat my vision. Something comes, he says, no, I'm going to stick with it. And eventually, it breaks through. It starts blossoming. Other people will see him and say, hey, it be like say pure water, they sell, let me go and do it. Check yourself. Is that motivation from inside you, or is it borrowed? If it's borrowed, it will expire. It won't last. But it's from within. It will sustain you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and God bless. So for those of us that want to join the job bureau, please quickly come to the back. There's somebody waiting to register us.